Netcasts you love.
From people you trust.
This is TWiT.
Bandwidth for TWiT specials is provided by Cashfly at CACHEFLY.com.
Chad Johnson here at E3 2013, right in front of the West Hall, and I am super excited. I'm getting to talk to Brad Muir, the developer, the creative mind, the brain behind Double Fine's newest Kickstarter, Massive Chalice.
Massive Chalice.
So, for the people who haven't seen the Kickstarter video or don't know any backstory, go ahead and just give a brief overview of the game.
Yeah, okay, so it's a tactical strategy game set on what we call the epic timeline. So you'll be the immortal ruler of this kingdom that's being attacked by this demonic army. And the twist is that the invasion is going to last hundreds of years.
Right.
So it's the game's going to be split very similar to XCOM, where you have a tactical view where you'll be controlling your heroes and fighting these demons in this human-scale tactical view. And then the other side of the game is a very high-level strategic view where you'll be managing the entire realm, making decisions about that. But then the epic timeline is the real twist. Your heroes are going to age as time flows on the strategic map. And those heroes are going to age and then eventually die. So you need to be deciding which ones you're going to take and retire so that they can have children that will then grow up to be the heroes in your next generation.
Even better fighters for later. Yep. Gotcha. So following the success of what was definitely touted as the biggest Kickstarter for a video game.
Tim is a very likable man.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it seems like an absolutely brilliant move for you guys to do another one. Is there any disadvantage to using the internet to fund a video game?
Well, I mean, this time around, like, we haven't finished. Like, there were a lot of risks associated with it. Like, we hadn't finished Broken Age. We weren't sure how people were going to react to that. And people don't really know who I am compared to Tim. Like, it's like I've worked at Double Fine for a long time, but I'm not this like living legend kind of person. And it's also not based. It's a new IP. It's not based on any old existing franchise that we're digging up and trying to reboot. So there's a lot of risks associated with it, but the response has been really awesome. We already hit our goal, and things are going great.
Congratulations.
But disadvantages for working directly with people, it's mostly upside. I mean, I think the biggest thing is that you just get buried under tons and tons of suggestions, and it's like, I want to make sure that we're trying to listen to everything, but it's like, especially in those first few days.
Right, and especially suggestions from non-game developers.
Yeah, it's like people don't always know what's feasible and what's not within the budget that we're asking for and things like that. So I actually like that there's this sort of cool educational piece to it, where it's like, we can kind of show people like what, how much things cost roughly, or like what is kind of within the realm of possibility and what is not, as we go through this, which is cool. But it's really awesome listening to everybody's suggestions.
Yeah, I mean, another thing that is awesome, just as a backer, which I back.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Can
I give you a hug right now?
Sure.
Okay.
Thanks, Chad. Got hugged by Brad Muir.
Thanks for backing, Chad.
So I love the fact that there's so much video content made by two-player productions, and does that ever kind of get in the way, or is it's just always just a great experience?
It's been, I mean, it's a little weird, but everybody at the studio is really used to it now, because the Broken Age documentary that they're doing has been going on for like over a year now.
Right.
And so it's like, yeah, it was pretty jarring at first, where it's like they're filming meetings, and it's like, there's like a boom mic like right above your head kind of the whole time, and you're just like, you don't know what the hell you should be doing. It's just
I'm
like
sure
really
that's
weird.
Not unnatural at all.
But like, I think that people have really gotten used to it, and they're really good at like staying out of the way and just trying to capture what's actually happening.
Right.
And I think like after a few minutes of it, the weirdness kind of goes away, and you kind of like get into a groove of like actually doing stuff and working on it normally.
Yeah. You ignore it, move on.
You try to, but it's a little weird. Like this camera right here, this looking at me.
It's the enemy. It's the enemy.
It is still kind of weird. Like it takes some getting used to it. I still don't think we're there, but it's cool. Those guys are amazing. Like Like the video for our Kickstarter, for Massive Chalice Kickstarter, it was done in 48 hours. Like 2 days, 3 guys at 2-player. That's it. And they did the whole thing and edited it. And I don't know. Yeah. They're amazing. Like shout out to those guys. They're fantastic.
Cool. So with both Brazen, which was your was the Amnesia Fortnite game that you
Yep.
made,
Yep.
and Iron Brigade. Those were both really multiplayer focused.
Yeah.
Is Massive Chalice also going to focus on multiplayer? Not focus, but
people have asked us about it, but we're really focused on the single player experience. Like, I feel like this kind of, turn-based experience really benefits from like being able to take your time and like think about your choices and stuff. So I don't know if it's like the greatest fit for multiplayer, but in the XCOM reboot, the XCOM Enemy Unknown, the new XCOM game, like I think that they did a really great job with like a very point-based kind of multiplayer setup there where there's a timer for your turn. Like there's definitely a way that we could make it work. So we're not like shutting the door on it completely, but the budget for the game is relatively small. It's pretty modest. So I think that we really want to focus on the single player experience.
Stay focused.
First and foremost. But I love multiplayer games. Like as you mentioned, like Iron Brigade and Brazen, both heavy multiplayer focus. Like I'm sure I'll
you'll think of it sometime.
I'm sure we'll be doing more multiplayer stuff in the future.
Good, good. Now the Kickstarter video focused a lot on combat and talking about how you would have these characters that would fight on your behalf. And as a person who really enjoys city building, what sort is there going to be city building, or is that sort of pushed to the side?
We're trying to, it's like looking at the strategic layer. We're trying to take a lot of the concepts that you would have in XCOM and push them out into the Bloodlines, like this whole Bloodline system about like, which heroes are you going to pair together to have children in these keeps that are around the realm. So we really want to like focus more on that, like where the things like researching technology and like forging new items and equipment.
Right.
We're thinking that we can maybe take that and kind of push it into this Bloodline system, because that's like a big focus of the game.
Right.
And I like the fact that we could take a little bit of the base building aspect out of it and center it more around these human characters. That's another thing I really like about it, is that it's I want you to get really attached to these human characters, and it's like, if it's a building that's researching your technology versus like, these two heroes that are retired in a keep together that are like working on it, and through the ages, these like two mages and their family, their bloodline is like researching the demonic technology for you. You get really attached to them. Like I think it's another great way to get people really attached to these characters, and then it's very poignant when they die. Right. It's like you're
like,
attached to them, and you
want
want to
on that thing, and
yeah,
I guess they're gone.
I think it's cool because as they age, like you're definitely going to lose them. So I think that you'll not only get attached to the heroes, but also get attached to their surname, the bloodline, and you'll want to see that. Like you'll want to sort of like take care of that and make sure that it like goes into the future. And I think that's a really like compelling piece of the game that I want to support.
Good. And then you had one concept art that had multiple cities kind of around a realm. And when you're talking about Bloodlines, I was wondering, are those geographically located? Like, is there gonna be like a mini game where I have to be like, I really want this lady to go move to this town, so now I have to get her over there to sire that bloodline?
Definitely no mini games. Like,
dang.
we want to keep it simpler. Where just
I want that wooing mini game.
When you make those decisions, like they'll just happen. I don't think we need any mini games or like quick time events for that stuff.
Well, and in the storyline, you are the king, so the king decrees.
The king or queen. You are the immortal ruler.
Yes. Yeah. True. Decrees. Hey, go be with that person.
Sure. And that's, it's a really interesting thing. The way that we talk about it is that it's like a royal marriage. That the ruler, like the heroes, are kind of like, they're really trusting that the ruler will make the right decisions and put them with the right partner to like have children and continue those bloodlines. But we had talked about like when you make those decisions, having it play out where they would actually have to kind of Oregon Trail up the. It would take them months to actually get to the keep, because again, we try to point everything at this epic timeline concept, where when you're running the flow of time on the map, it's like, in XCOM, that's, days are going to pass, but in Massive Chalice, like months and years are going to pass. So like, thinking about like slowing that way down, like what falls out of that. And that could be a really cool thing where like if you have a keep that's really far away, you send two people off to it, it's going to take them like a year to, eventually get up there and like establish the bloodline in that keep.
Right. So one final question. The game is called Massive Chalice, but I haven't quite seen anything. What is the Massive Chalice? You're trying to reforge it. How does the combat integrate, or has that been fully?
We're trying to, part of it is that like Tim Schafer and I are like very different kinds of game designers. Like he's a very like top-down game designer, like starts with the world and the fiction and the characters and stuff, and then builds downwards towards the game mechanics to make sure that everything is cohesive. And I'm more of like a bottom-up game designer where it's like focus on the game mechanics first, and then we'll layer the fiction on top of it and make sure that the fiction makes sense to match the mechanics.
Right.
And like both are totally valid. And I think it's really awesome that like we have all sorts of different kind of creative people that want to make games and are allowed to make games at Double Fine. It's amazing. But as for the Massive Chalice, it's like I really want it to play like a pivotal role in the game's story. But it's like the mechanics aren't locked down yet. So you think about that bottom-up thing. It's like if the mechanics are not locked down, I don't really want to like
explain.
Put too many things in the but it's like we have some really cool ideas about like how the Chalice integrates into the bloodlines of the heroes, because that's like a really important aspect of the game, and how that relates to the demon faction, and like I want all these things to feel really linked together so that the world just feels like really cohesive. So cool. Yeah, we'll be talking about the Massive Chalice later, and like what it looks like and what it is and what it does and like why you have to reforge it and all this other stuff. We'll be talking about that later, but yeah.
Cool.
We'll talk about it later. We don't have to talk about it now.
Great.
Well,
We'll have to do another interview then.
We'll talk about it later, yeah.
Great.
We can't talk about everything right now.
No, you don't want to give all your cards all at once. Yeah. So anyway, thank you so much for this interview. You have
Thanks
been
for having
awesome.
me. Thanks for that awkward hug too,
Oh,
Chad.
you're welcome.
I'm sorry it was so
Anytime.
awkward. That was the first time I've ever hugged you in my life, and it happened on camera. And
Yeah.
I've been thinking about it. It's like, sorry about that.
Is there a link or URL for people to go help back the project?
Yeah. You can just go to massivechalice.com, and that will just redirect to the Kickstarter page. It's up there right now.
Perfect. Go donate money. Go reforge the Massive Chalice.
Thanks.